Welcome back to Knife Talk 101. Today we've got something a little bit different. We've got a knife from Walmart. This knife right here is a little interesting. It's a 7.5 inch folding knife, and at first appearance it looks like a Benchmade Bugout. Well, you get a little bit closer look, it's got an access style lock like the Benchmade Bugout, like pretty much all Benchmades. This knife right here is only $10. If we look at the back on the specs of this knife, 7.5 inch folding knife, a 3.25 inch D2 high carbon steel blade. If you notice, that's roughly the same size as the Bugout's blade. 4.25 inch injected handle. Now this handle feels cheap just from this packaging. It feels really cheap, but for $10, what do you expect out of a knife for 10 bucks? It's a great question. So let's go ahead and get this sucker opened up and see what we've got. Take the little tip protector off there, and let's go ahead and close our favorite knife opener, our utility knife and box opener. It doesn't feel that dull out of the box. And it's got decent action. It's got really decent action. For $10, this might not be bad. Now, it is a China knife, but from Walmart, what are you expecting for 10 bucks? Super lightweight. I don't have a way to measure it. Actually, we do have a way to measure this. Sometimes I forget we have a scale. So go ahead and measure it and get the weight of this product. Clean our scale off here and make sure our scale is zeroed out. And scale is zeroed out. 2.83 ounces. So it's fairly lightweight, just like a Bugout is. Now, unfortunately, I do not have a Bugout to compare this to. I will see if I can get my hands on one. I do have quite a number of friends that have Bugouts. I never jumped on the Bugout bandwagon. Instead, I opted for a little bit more harder use Benchmade knives, like the Mini Adamas here in CPM Crewwear Steel. Fantastic knife. Love this knife. We'll have a long-term use video coming up on that knife. But anyway, back to our Walmart Bugout, our little Ozark Trails knife here. For $10, I have to say I'm pretty impressed so far. I would imagine that with a proper edge on this blade, this might be a contender towards the Petrified Fish, which is a D2 knife, or D2 steel knife, that sells for roughly $38. I'm really curious to see just how sharp this sucker is, and I'm gonna have to play around with it a little bit. We'll have to do an update for sure on it. Let's see if it's sharp enough to cut paper here. Out of the box, it's fairly sharp. Let's see if we can do that again. That time it kind of cut and tore a little bit, but let's give that one last shot. So it's fairly sharp. Don't critique me and beat me up too bad in the comments on my paper cutting techniques there. It's decently sharp. Haven't decided if I'm going to put this on the wicked edge and see if we can get this wicked edge sharp, or if I'm just going to use my standard field sharpening system. A couple people have directly messaged me and asked about what sharpening systems I use, and I do use a wicked edge for a finer, better edge when I have the time for it, as well as a more portable system that I take out in the field with me for field sharpening. So look for a field sharpening video coming soon. But this knife, first impressions, it's not too bad. If you're looking at getting a Bugout but don't want to spend Bugout money, which is roughly $160 to $180, go with this guy instead. 10 bucks, can't go wrong, right? Maybe you can. This handle is slippery. It's junk. It says it's injected, so I'm guessing this is a fiberglass injected handle. Fiberglass and nylon. It feels slippery. If you're somebody with sweaty hands, probably wouldn't get this knife and expect to have a good grip. I mean, once it's in your hand, it feels It still feels a little slippery, but it feels okay enough. It's a $10 knife. It's not a horrible knife. This pocket clip, or as they call it on here, they call it a belt clip and a slide lock. Slide lock and a belt clip. It's not bad action. Really not bad action. For $10, I'm impressed. For a $10 clone, maybe you can get better on Temu. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, this belt clip, as they call it, the pocket clip, pretty stout pocket clip. That sucker is it's not gonna come off easy, that's for sure. So you won't lose it with just bumping into something. So probably one of the stronger clips that I've seen on a super budget knife here, like this one. Now, if you're somebody that beats the absolute living crap out of knives, and you just want a knife that you can beat the crap out of and not feel bad at the end of the day, if you can get past this handle, this is probably a great option for something to just beat the crap out of and then not feel bad when it breaks on you. And this sucker would break. One of the things I will give Walmart and Ozark Trails kudos for here is they've put a coating on this. This feels like it's just painted on. Right, this doesn't feel like it's an enamel coating. It's definitely not a DLC coating. This looks like it's just, you know, some kind of metal paint that's been put onto it or applied to it. That is going to help protect that D2 steel. Now, I will tell you, this geometry right here tapers off pretty sharply. Let's see if we can capture that. Tapers off and it gets super duper thin right here. D2 steel is pretty strong, but if you were to take this knife and apply any horizontal pressure onto it, I bet you it would snap off and break fairly easily. As far as the strength of this access lock, or slide lock as they called it, feels fairly strong. For this being only a $10 knife, I wouldn't mind trying to see if we can torture test this and break this knife and see just how much it can hold up to before it snaps. I don't have all the scientific equipment to test how much pressure it takes to break this, but I do have blocks of wood and I do have some hammers, right? So we can baton and beat the crap out of this thing and see just how well it holds up, and see if it's, you know, well beyond worth $10. Now, you know, Walmart does have a profit margin on everything they sell, so this knife probably only costs $2 or $3 to manufacture, and Walmart's making a few bucks selling it to us. But if you had to make a super budget knife and make it halfway decent, I don't think you could really beat this at a $10 price range, especially with having that high carbon D2 steel, which is going to take an edge, retain the edge moderately decent, and still be useful. Definitely more useful than your standard generic stainless steels, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that's the $10 Bugout clone from Walmart. It doesn't even have an official name other than knife number one, or option number one, 7.5 inch folding knife. So the Ozark Trails 7.5 inch folding knife, does it try to be a Benchmade Bugout? Definitely does. Does it beat a Benchmade Bugout for $10? Probably does for $10. You could buy a whole boatload. You know, at $160, you could buy 16 of these. So, how long could you beat the crap out of 16 of these versus one Bugout? That's a great question. Maybe we can do that one day and see if you can get 16 knives worth of value out of a Bugout versus this little sucker. So again, like, it's pretty satisfying. For $10, can't go wrong. Anyway, guys, this is just the unboxing and first impressions. We'll do a review of this knife later on. So look forward to more content coming from this channel once again. And sorry for the absence, guys. I'm back. Anyway, until next time, have a nice day.